Welcome to the Passion Behind the Art Show. It's all about diving in with individuals to learn the story behind their passion. It's your host, Daryl Pinna. Now, I have a bunch of new stuff that I'm planning to do a bunch of giveaways. I really did a few giveaways leading up to Creative South, and I really enjoy just giving away stuff. So go to passionbehindtheart.com to sign up, and I'm going to be doing exclusive shows and giveaways and discounts and just giving back to you awesome people that have been listening to this podcast. Thank you for everyone that purchased a shirt from Cotton Bureau, the podcast shirt from Cotton Bureau. Can't wait to see you guys. Once you get your shirt, share a pic with you wearing it, and you may just get something. Matter of fact, you are. So share a pic once you get your Passion Behind the Art shirt, and something will be on your way. And just hashtag Passion Behind the Art, or tag the podcast handle, which is PBTA Podcast. Alright, so let's jump into this week's episode. Another awesome individual.
Hey, Creative South. I have Tom Cox with me, and I'm super excited to have him. This is Daryl from the Passion Behind the Art Show, and without further ado, Tom Cox, welcome. Hey man, how's it been? I see you got a lot going on, a lot of new branding. Dude, let's hear about this new branding. Where it came from, and how did this idea start?
It's with what I want to do for me, and I feel like this new brand identity for me brings both of those together.
Okay, so how did this little figure, this character that you got going on, how did that come about?
That's I've always been a huge sports fan, collecting stuff. I've got bobbleheads in my office, and one day I was just kind of looking at them, and I was like, you know what would be awesome is if that bobblehead's head just sprung right off, but he just kept going. So I call this guy Bob.
Oh, cool.
And he's been through some crap, but he just keeps going.
Nice. So this is going to be now the official Tom Cox brand.
Yeah, part of it. I'm planning on doing some more stuff. Some more, either more characters or more art. To kind of come along with it.
Is it going to be like products after that and stuff like that?
Possibly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stay tuned.
Because I know we had talked a while back on the first time I had you on my podcast. I know you was like you were getting ready to venture into the products and
that's all. Like I said, that's been the dream for a few years now, and it's just me trying to work through it and figure out how that can happen. Next year I'll have 2 kids in college, so balancing the investment risk with products and merch and stuff. So it's kind of hard to do right now, but we're working on it.
Man. So for those who don't know Tom Cox, he's awesome designer. He's worked for Coke. He's done the branding for Woodcocks, Georgia. Some of the other well-known stuff you may know. You remember that Surge product from Coke? He was the brainchild behind that for the Surge. So right now you're currently running your own studio. Like, what's the first hour like for start?
The first hour. That kind of varies. It depends on how many fires are going. How many deadlines are coming up. I try to start it with working on my own stuff. That's kind of been more and more of a recent habit I've tried to get into of, you know what, I know I've got this other stuff to do, but while I'm fresh and focused, I'm going to work on my stuff. unless it, like I said, it's a deadline or something I've really got to get done, or you know, and there's stuff I do for clients. I still love doing that too.
Right.
So there's days I get up and go, I can't wait to get on that project.
So we're here at Creative South. Like, what is it about this conference that's got you coming?
Well, I've been around the block a while. I've been to a few different conferences over the years, and this is the third year in a row I've been to this one, and I've never been to any other conference like it, as far as it being so just relaxed and social, and there's no pretense. To me, this is the closest you're going to get to we're all in this together. We're all on the same level. We're all just here to learn and connect and have a good time. And to me, that's refreshing. I just come here to kind of rejuvenate and connect with buddies, and
It's funny you say that, when you say like we're all on the same level, because like outside of Creative South, like different people are put on different pedestals, and different people are not on a pedestal. And what I've realized, just in general, is like the social media. It's like at times people seem as higher than they actually are, and it's like, because I know people that have a large following and that are not necessarily making any money, and people that don't have a large following are like, their head are so much in the dirt that they don't have time to like work on their large social media following. So one thing I like about Creative South is that what you said, like everybody's in here on the same level. There's no one higher than anyone, and everyone is like just trying to
feel like we're all cheering each other on.
Yeah. It's like a big cheerleading match going on.
Yeah. Yep.
So what's your most memorable Creative South moment?
Oh, wow. Probably last year meeting Charles Anderson. Because the work he was doing in the late 80s, early 90s with Duffy Design, Joe Duffy, is what inspired me to. I was actually headed toward a career in advertising, and I might have mentioned this, I think, on your podcast before, that I saw what they were doing with design on a package and how you could build a whole brand in that one moment.
Right.
And I was like, that's what I want to do.
Oh, that's cool. Like his talk last year was just...
Oh, it was phenomenal.
Dude.
Yeah.
Like at one point, I'm not even going to lie to you, I wasn't sure where it was going.
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't either. Especially with the rats in the silo.
Like, dude, I wasn't sure, man. But
yeah,
he took it home, and dude,
yeah,
it was amazing. Like
it was. It really was.
Just to see the journey and of someone starting, like him showing that house. I didn't get the whole point of him showing that house where he came from, but like after he went through the whole story and to get back to that house, it was just amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. And even like your story, I mean, you didn't like jump out of the womb just like, oh, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just like, what would you say is like the most memorable time for you to say, you know what, like I've come a long way, but I feel like I've done something worthwhile?
Yeah.
What would you say, like, was that time that, do you remember actually when that, I got an opportunity to step outside of yourself and like kind of look back of where you're coming from?
For a career or
Or even life,
yeah.
in general.
You know, to be honest, I don't know if you heard the speech before this in the auditorium with the couple that did about the shore, but they're talking about anxiety and all
bits
that
and
stuff.
pieces.
Yeah, so they mentioned something that really hit me, and it was like, you know, so many times as creatives and designers, we're trying to create something that's going to last beyond us. And I think you can get really hung up on that. And literally just now when they were talking about it, I was like, you know what? I've got a wife who knows I love her. I've got 2 kids. They know how much I love them. I'm good. You know? It doesn't, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it feels good for people to go, oh, he did Surge, and oh, he did stuff for Coke, and he's done all this cool stuff, and I mean that makes. I mean you can't be human and not make that makes you feel good,
True.
but you can't get hung up on that because you're gonna get a client who says this sucks. What are we paying you for? And you can't get all tied up in that. So, as far as making a difference, I hope my design makes a difference. I've done stuff for ministries. I've done stuff for nonprofits that I hope helps, along the way. But at the end of the day, I just, my family, my faith, to me, that's more important.
So that's kind of is that what you would say that keeps you grounded, to kind of keep you like?
Yeah, if you could say I'm grounded, then yeah, that's it.
But I mean, come on,
that's the hope.
You've worked with serious people. You've worked on serious projects. I have no idea what it's like to work for the city or design for the city, and even what you did with that that beverage. What's the name of it?
Reformation Brewery.
Yeah. So it's like you've done all these serious things, and you kind of do it in such a graceful way. You're not cocky about it in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I think that goes back to my time at Coke, because I started there really young and felt like I had to prove myself. And I think you can get hung up on getting stuck on that loop of I got to keep proving myself. I got to keep proving myself. I got to keep proving myself. And really one of the things I took away from there is, you know what? These are just people too. I mean, yes, it's Coke. It's the biggest brand in the world. And growing up here in Georgia, that was the dream job. I mean, that is it. That's
still is.
Yeah. So having gone through that experience of, the super highs of getting hired and achieving some things there, to the super lows of feeling like you're not being appreciated, to not being recognized, to not being paid enough, just to be honest, that it kind of makes you aware that, you know what, these are just people doing their best to, continue to help one of the biggest brands in the world make money for all the people that work there.
Right.
It's a job.
Right. Makes sense. So right now, what is that gear or that product that you use that you can't live without? What is that thing that you can't live without?
Wow. I mean, to be honest, it's my iMac.
Your iMac.
I mean, that's, I'm old school. I still need a mouse and a monitor.
Hey, dude, I'm the same, man.
Yeah.
I'm the same.
Yeah. So that's, end of the day, if I didn't have that, I'd be out of luck.
So what are you most excited about right now?
Right now, probably the new stuff I'm working on, my identity and seeing what I can do with that. Probably going to take some of that stuff as far as merch goes and see what I can do with, maybe do some shops like on Society 6 and that type of stuff, Redbubble maybe, and some other. There's several out there that they seem to have kind of taken a step up in quality. So I feel like that's an option. Let me see what happens with this.
So why are you doing that and not just printing stuff? Why are you doing on demand and not printing?
Not printing it myself. Going back to what I was talking about earlier with 2 kids in college,
right.
You kind of got to take that risk of, investing in getting stuff printed and hoping it sells and all that stuff. So right now I'm just going to put it out there on demand and see what happens. Kind of taking the approach of if it does well there, if I make a little cash flow with that, I can shift that cash flow into printing my own.
Right. So you're kind of using that as like a test.
Yeah, exactly. Whole test market.
Because I've done merchandise before, like in 2006 to like 2010. I had like a small clothing brand, and I had inventory.
Yeah.
And like at one point, it was hard to get rid of inventory, man.
Yeah, that's another part of my decision on that too. Is even if I did make a small investment on products, if orders start coming in, I have to take time out to fill them. I don't have anybody to really help me and support me to do that. So it'd be like I'd be the shipping department and the, fulfillment and the customer service. I don't have time for that right now.
Right. So I think I've tried out Cotton Bureau. The thing is, they got the time limit though. You gotta
Right.
like sell it in like 2 weeks. But I mean, I think for me personally, if I'm ever doing products again, that's the route I'm gonna go. Like
Yeah.
to just get rid of I don't like it was a nightmare dealing with inventory, man.
Yeah.
It was just a nightmare.
Yeah. Yeah, that's yeah. I'm just not in a position family-wise and life-wise right now to take that on. So,
Okay.
but I'm excited about what I'm creating, so I want to get it out there and just hopefully people enjoy it as much as I do, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I like it, man. I like the eyeball. I like the little man. Like I love what you're doing, man. I love the new move of everything you're doing. So I mean, like,
Well, I've got another piece that I'm about to introduce too. I think I've got a shirt I'll be probably wearing next day or two with a heart that I've done. That
so you're gonna be doing is it like series or stuff like that?
maybe, yeah, or at least build up. I'm kind of looking at it like a fashion thing, like you have a season of stuff, and we'll see how that goes. And then when I have some other thoughts or ideas, I'll do a whole nother.
So is this like the Coke in you coming out?
I think so, yeah. This is, just I got to get it out.
Oh man, that is hilarious. It's just, but for some reason, it's just like I saw the little head, and then I saw the T, and then how you intertwine the Tom and the Cox, and it's just like it was just like one thing after the other. Then the monogram TC, and then it's like, so it's just like you've got this framework built in you now, and it's just like it's just coming out with a system, not just like one piece. You're like,
Yeah, it's
banging out systems.
yeah, it's one of the it's I guess it's ingrained in me from the Coke days of as you're creating, you're thinking what comes out first, what do you introduce second, how do you build the momentum, how do you keep it moving, and so that's what I'm doing with this.
Oh, awesome. So, what advice? What advice would you have right now that's pumping through Tom Cox for creatives?
I would say be optimistic. I think this is a time that we can actually make some dreams come true. I think there's more opportunity now than there have been since I've been in the business, and that's going on 25 years plus. I mean, I think Jamal that spoke this morning mentioned earlier, there was no internet when I started this. There was barely computers. So.
Still remember that dial-up.
Oh, yeah. I mean, sitting there waiting forever,
But that's amazing because you're a vet in the industry, and it's like I'm not sure what number this is, but you're like going for another turn, like another pivot in your career, and it's like you're still talking about dreams. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like in this day and age, that's what the internet has created.
Exactly. Well, a lot of people don't like to talk about their age, but I just hit 50. And I do kind of feel like a fresh start. It's time for, it's time to stop waiting. It's time to do it. I've spoken with Robert McClurkin, my good friend, about this off and on for years, we kind of feel like the young guys got an advantage on us when the social media and everything kind of took off because we just, out of ignorance, ignored it for too many years and then tried to catch up. And now we're doing what we can, but, it's
So
yeah,
how can you speak to someone in your bracket like why they should stop ignoring it, and and the things that advantages that it can create.
Well, I think they should stop ignoring it. One, because it's free for the most part. So why not take advantage of it? Number two, you're gonna connect with people that is going to provide opportunity that you didn't even know was there. So yeah, to me, that's the advice of, go to things like this, go to things like small town creatives, go to whatever is in your area that you can get to and connect with people, and then connect with them online.
Right.
You know? I mean, it's
because that's kind of like what we did.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Exactly.
That's kind of what we did. So what is coming for the new season of Small Time Creatives? 'Cause I know you took a little break.
We've taken a little break. We're probably going to start it back up here in the next couple months. We don't have exact details yet, but we just want to keep it going. Just be an opportunity for people to connect. And that's just kind of the short mission right now amongst all this other stuff we have going on. But we still see there's value in it for people. We've seen people connect and, opportunities happen for people. So we know there's value there. We know that there's something good there that we need to try to keep going. I mean, we kind of see it as a very, very mini version of what Mike is doing here.
And I think so. I think so. I'm definitely
Although
going
he
to be
does
trying
it
to.
way better.
Yeah, it's like, this is, you know what I mean? It's Creative South, but he's also had a lot of years to practice and get it right. And I think, to me, this conference, it's changed so much for me. It's changed a lot for me, and you know what I mean. I'm blessed to be a part of this conference, and I'm blessed to know the people that are a part of it, and to know that the people that run it and the driving force are people of faith. That's a big deal to me. We are setting a standard.
The great thing I love about it is there's people of faith here, and they feel comfortable, and in this environment, but there's also people who are not, and they feel comfortable.
And it's funny, I was talking to someone yesterday about that, and what I really appreciate is the mix of people that are of faith and people that are not of faith, and there's no one trying to disrespect.
Yeah, there's
anyone.
no pressure. There's
You know what I mean?
disrespect. Yeah,
especially you think, okay, somebody's not of faith, they're just as respectful of what's going on. You know what I mean? And that's what I love. I don't know how he's done it, because there are tons of other organizations that's driven by religion.
Forget the creative industry for a minute. This is just humans getting along.
Right. And they're struggling with being able to do what he has done here, and it's pretty awesome. So what can we expect from Tom in the near future? More products, more designs for this
more products, more stuff. I've got a few brand projects I've been working on for clients that I'm hoping we're close to wrapping up, that I can actually start showing, and some stuff I'm excited about on that end. And so just hopefully more of the same.
Awesome, man. Awesome. So where can people go to learn about what Tom Cox is doing?
TomCoxDesign.com or at TomCoxDesign on all the socials.
Well, Tom, I really appreciate you doing this again. As I said, I love what you're doing, man. I really appreciate you. I appreciate your insight. I appreciate everything that you have to offer.
Well, thanks, Gerald. I appreciate you.
All right, man. Thanks.
Yep.
Well, that was Tom Cox. Awesome designer, awesome man, a good family man, and an awesome person to be around. I just want to thank Tom for taking the time out to come on the Passion Beyond the Art show here live at Creative South.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode. Go to passionbeyondtheart.com to learn more about what's going on and to be a part of the Facebook group, the giveaways, and much more, especially the in-depth shows that's coming up. Those will be exclusive shows. They'll be very in-depth to a particular subject matter. All right, so go to passionbeyondtheart.com. Be blessed.